Pete here with a Small Business Resource Center, here with what I would consider a pretty important update. Basically, I'm sure you saw my other video that the $900 billion stimulus package passed. We're going to go over whether it's good for you or if it sucks. The other thing is we're going to go over the coronavirus stats, vaccine update, stock market, election, and because I'm in Pennsylvania, the Governor Wolf mandate, which is shutting down small businesses. And if you're interested in getting 4 free stocks and opening up a new account, I'm going to have a link in the description below. I also have a link for a petition for the $10,000 EIDL grant. So let's get started. Governor Wolf basically shut down indoor dining, gyms, theaters, restaurants, bars, and many small businesses with his new mandate. I'm sure you're well, right before the holidays, he set up this, shut everything down, and said it's until January 4th. Unfortunately, it seems like a lot of people in Pennsylvania, not just Pennsylvania, but I saw videos in other states like California that have equally terrible regulations that are tired of this and are no longer complying. So the Taste of Italy in Palmyra won a lawsuit. They got a fine, and they were supposedly getting their license suspended. Now they're operating 100% without problems. And there's a lot of different businesses that are doing the same thing because they realize these mandates are not laws and regulations. The Tunnelton Inn in Indiana County, they basically were in court and December 18th. The judge heard their case. They had a liquor license suspended for 14 days, and it was given back to them. I think the suspension wasn't even 14 days, but the judge is expected to rule. And what they said in information provided by Tunnelton Inn is the judge is probably going to rule in their favor. They're basically saying that Wolf's mandates cannot close or restrict your business, and the LCB cannot take or suspend your liquor license for not complying with a mandate, because a mandate is not a law. It's not a regulation that's imposed by the Liquor Control Board. So once this passes, which is expected to, this is going to be big in Pennsylvania, because that means even the people who are resisting and staying open, everyone should be able to, basically. Now let's go over the coronavirus stats. December 22nd, Pennsylvania had 569,413 basically active confirmed cases, 14,021 deaths. In the United States, it's 18,184,737 confirmed cases and 343 deaths. Over 8 million infected people recovered. Globally, they had 77,432,103 confirmed cases and 1,704,065 deaths, and 43 million people recovered. So, the website actually says a percentage of people who died, but the stats were low, and I don't know why. But it seems like the media and the government don't want to tell you that it's like 0.02% of people die. But the stats used to be there. I tried searching for it, but these videos do take a lot of time to make. So if you appreciate it, please smash a like button for the YouTube algorithm, and let's continue. Pfizer and biontech, they have vaccines out. They've been going out, and people are getting them. Of course, a lot of vaccines do have reactions. So some of the news is telling you about reactions. Just happens. And like with any vaccine, some people actually get sick from taking it. But they're saying the Pfizer and biontech and Moderna, their RNA vaccines, are a little bit different. And they say they actually have lower reactions and a higher efficacy rate of 95%. In 2 or 3 months, Johnson & Johnson and some other manufacturers may have more vaccines out that are more traditional. They're 1 injection instead of 2. But the one thing that I'm seeing in the news, and obviously I'm not a proponent for vaccines at all, I'm just telling you the news as honestly as I can find. They're stating that in England, they're actually finding a second variant of the coronavirus. And according to Moderna, which Pfizer and biontech is getting tested right now, their vaccine can actually basically still take care of the variant. And typically, if you get a vaccine or flu shot, it's only good for one particular type, but they're saying the RNA vaccine is actually good for variants. So I'm not sure, but I'm just telling you what the article stated. So despite being approved for the most part, coronavirus stocks seem to be down, but the coronavirus relief stocks, I would have to say, seem like they're going up. And that's stuff like hospitality, travel, restaurants, gambling. They seem to be going up very big. I personally feel that many of these stocks are going to turn around when they start releasing their earnings or when the news starts telling them, because most retail investors, that's what they do. They just look at the regular news and they react on that. But these vaccine companies are probably getting in excess of 150 billion in income. And one of the things I researched was an article that said that they expect Moderna, they expect Pfizer and BioNTech to get about 43% of that share, which is pretty amazing, but it seems plausible. So the S&P 500 continues to dip. It dipped down 0.39%. I personally am having a slight fear that there could be a big dip or a flash crash. And the main reason I'm stating that is because of the simple fact that many of the states have been imposing lockdowns and similar things. And with those being imposed, it has an effect on the economy. Now, I know they did pass a coronavirus aid bill, or relief package. We're going to go over that, but I don't personally believe that's going to fix everything. A lot of people are talking about a housing crash. I know it did slow down a little bit, but I don't know if it's going to crash because they have a lot of protections in place with the aid packages that they have. So the $900 billion stimulus package or the coronavirus relief package sounds great, but the question is it good for you? Is it good for your friends and family? And is it good for small businesses? So unemployment insurance, they have $120 billion allotted for that, and that puts the pandemic unemployment insurance back up. It's $300 per week, and it will go until March 14th instead of the $600 per week that they had that expired for July. And they also put jobless claims up to 50 weeks now. So direct payments of $166 billion. So that would be a $600 direct payment for any individuals making less than $75,000 a year. Couples can make under $150, and then a dependent child gets $600. Paycheck Protection Program, they're having a second round of Paycheck Protection Program. It's $284 billion. So if you did get the Paycheck Protection Program the first time, you can qualify for a second one. And one of the things that I had mentioned in another video actually is here now, and it says that the Paycheck Protection Program funds are not taxed. So some people had mentioned that you have to pay tax on it, and they were talking to their CPA, and I had said, well, I don't believe so because of the fact that it's 100% forgiven. And now they actually put the law in here that it says Paycheck Protection Programs are not taxed. So apply for your Paycheck Protection Program. If you got the first one, great. If not, take advantage of the second one. So vaccine testing and health providers are getting $69 billion, and that's $30 billion more for vaccine treatments, distributed funds, and for stockpiles. $22 billion for testing, tracing, and mitigation. $9 billion for healthcare providers. $4.5 billion for mental health. Schools and universities, they will get $82 billion, $54 billion for K through 12, $23 billion for colleges and universities, and $4 billion will go to the Governor's Emergency Education Relief Fund, and $1 billion for Native American schools. Rental assistance is $25 billion, and that basically is a federal rental assistance program. Funds will be distributed by state and local governments to make sure that people get the money they need. I know in Pennsylvania, I'm not sure how the program worked exactly. I know I did have links for it, but of course I didn't have to take advantage of it, and other people didn't mention it. But I did post the links for Pennsylvania and local. And the problem is it seems like a lot of people did not know or could not take advantage of those programs. So a lot of that funding was actually lost in Pennsylvania, from my understanding. But if you do need rental assistance, just Google rental assistance in your state and you should be able to find programs. So Farm Aid is $26 billion. It increases food stamp benefits for 15% for 6 months. And Meals on Wheels and other aid programs will get $13 billion for additional funding. Farm and food aid get $26 billion, increases food stamp benefits to 15% more for 6 months, and it provides more food for food banks and Meals on Wheels and other food aid. Ranch and farm workers, they will also get $13 billion in additional funds. Child care will get $10 billion. It forgives $10 billion in previous loans for the Postal Service, and it gives them another $10 billion. Omnibus appropriations is $1.4 trillion. This is the government spending bill. The government spending bill is $1.4 trillion, and that funds emergency operations through September 30th of next year. It also gives $1.4 billion to work on the border wall that Trump has. So that was in the news. Whether you're for it or against it, it's here. I'm just telling you. So miscellaneous. This is a huge document, and I actually could not find it. I actually went on the government websites to look up bills. I don't know what I was doing wrong, or if they just didn't put it up there for some reason because all this happened so quickly. So I could not look up the bill as I normally may have done, but it's over 3,000 pages, and they have money for fossil fuel incentives, $7 billion to increase broadband access, $4 billion to help other nations vaccinate their people, $14 billion for cash-starved transit systems, $1 billion for Amtrak, $2 billion for airports and concessionaires, and food stamp benefits would be increased by 15%. I did mention that. Okay, and if you get any surprise medical billing, they have incentives to help with that medical billing. They've also extended tax breaks given under the CARES Act, including lower taxes for craft brewers, renewable energy, increased your tax deduction for charitable contributions, and business meals would be 100% deductible for until 2022, which I think is great. Okay, water projects are almost a 400-page resource bill. That is $10 billion for the Army Corps of Engineers for flood control and coastal water projects. I did see another news article that said $400 billion is being given to the Kennedy Center. Last time the Kennedy Center got $25 billion. I don't know what they're doing that they need so much money. But $193 million is going to HIV new car workers. They also have funds set up for gender equality, $10 million for Pakistani gender programs, $1.5 billion for Office of Diversity Inclusions. In my opinion, I don't know what any of this stuff has to do with coronavirus relief. What are your thoughts? But there's probably a lot more stuff like that in this bill. So this is the $900 coronavirus relief bill. Is this great news, or is this a slap in the face? That's my questions. Feel free to comment below. Let me know your thoughts, and do me a favor, because these videos take a lot of time to make. Smash a YouTube algorithm. The like button, it's right down here somewhere. Subscribe if you're new and you're looking for content like this. And let me know if you need any help with anything. I'll see what I can do to help you out. And if you're interested in learning how to trade, you can set up a new account, get 4 free stocks. If you just want to practice, there's paper trading in that same account. And when you deposit $100, you get up to 4 free stocks. Those stocks could be valued up to $1,600, I think. But check it out. It's a great way to learn. And when you're ready, you get 4 free stocks. It's Pete with the Small Business Resource Center. It's December 22nd. Have a great day.